While it might not always seem like it, the march of progress is generally a good thing, as people take existing ideas and iterate on them to make them better, bringing us such modern marvels as the electric car, manned spaceflight, and 38 different flavours of Mountain Dew. I'm partial to blue. Sometimes though, a brilliant idea slips through the cracks and rather than becoming the template for the future, becomes little more than a footnote forgotten by history. Just like these brilliant video game mechanics that we absolutely love, but which no one else adopted and now only exist as a fond memory. Just like that time I tried Red Mountain Dew. Never again. Anyway, watch on for the 7 best video game mechanics that no one else copied for some reason, and let us know your picks for this topic in the comments. 38 flavours, Mike, can you believe that? 38.
Is that genuinely the number?
Goji citrus strawberry, what about that?
I like thrashed apple.
Baja carbo citrus, what about that?
What about, is the blue one you like atomic blue?
Berry monsoon, Mike, get wrecked by the berry monsoon.
Imagine purple thunder ripping through your digestive system.
Atomic blue, that can't be good for you.
No. Infinite swirl?
Hiya, Gracie. Got your message loud and clear. And the tunes. Great thought, thanks. I'm here in one piece, might be overstating it, but we made it. I'm safe. Just getting oriented. Yeah, there's nothing awkward about this at all.
Game music is hugely important. There's a reason that the emotional climax of Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't soundtrack like this. Now I don't know how to feel. However, when you're just tooling around in a game world, exploring, taking in the sights, and occasionally shooting unlucky people who wander into your path, wouldn't it be nice to listen to some of your favourite tunes? That was the question asked by Capcom's Lost Planet 3 and seemingly nobody else, because Lost Planet 3 let you blast your own music while stomping around in something called a utility rig. Essentially a large mech suit used for clearing terrain and dealing with hostile threats, the utility rig is already a pretty badass piece of kit that you'll get to jump inside on the regular when playing Lost Planet 3. Once you're inside though, you can ditch the game's regular soundtrack in favour of your custom stomping around in a big robot playlist, courtesy of Windows Media Player. Through a menu option in the rig's controls, you're able to import a playlist of MP3s and put them on whenever you're in your big robot. No pressure on what to include, but we recommend Mr. Roboto by Styx, Robot Rock by Daft Punk, The Robots by Kraftwerk, and Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. Because that's just a bop. Basically, no other games have seen fit to similarly let you listen to your own music with a built-in, in-world game feature. Even ones where listening to music as you drive around is a core part of the gameplay experience, like in Grand Theft Auto 5. Is it just because they want to avoid situations like this? Because okay, that's fair.
Welcome to Caesar's Palace, that's right, we live from Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada, under promotion of EA Sports World of Boxing.
The sport of boxing is often referred to as sweet science, which does make you wonder what dessert engineering is referred to as. The idea behind sweet science is apparently that it's not just about frantically punching people as many times as possible in the face, which is how we would approach a fight if we were ever in one, but instead about strategic combinations of jabs, straights, and hooks. And haymakers. Yet another confusing name. I don't see a single Bale around here. Instead of just having your punches controlled by the face buttons on the controller, as they had been in previous EA boxing game Knockout Kings, the Fight Night games attempted to replicate sweet science by introducing what was referred to as total punch control. This involved making gesture-like motions on the right analog stick that imitated the shape of the punches you threw and the arm that they were coming from. For left or right jabs and straights, you simply flick the stick diagonally forward, either left or right. For a left or right hook, you performed a bigger quarter-circle arc on the relevant side. And for an uppercut, it involves starting lower on the stick and bringing it all the way around to the top.
No point there, that punch landed on leather.
It was an extremely intuitive and organic system that made you feel completely connected to what was going on in the fight. Better yet, the movements you had to make reflected the bigger wind-up that bigger punches required, giving it a rhythm closer to the actual sport. It's also a concept that no one seems to have ripped off for other fighting games or even games involving melee combat. Just imagine a Souls game, for example, where you had that level of fine control over your weapon attacks.
He's chopping at the trunk.
Sadly, it looks like this innovative control system will remain confined to the ring. The ring, which is a square. Boxing. Why are you like this?
Now I see. You deny your weapon its purpose.
It was in the news recently that Hideo Kojima has left a memory stick full of his good ideas for his team to use once he dies. What's on it, you might be wondering? Well, wonder no more, as I have it right here. Okay, the world's first drinkable video game, which will play out unseen in your bladder before you discover what ending you get next time you go to the bathroom. Starring Paul Mescal, music by Churches. Yeah, we're going to want to keep this safe. But not all of Kojima's ideas are insane or insane and boring, looking at you, Death Stranding. He's also the guy who made some of the best video games of all time, and crucially, some of the greatest video game mechanics of all time, like Blade Mode from Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, if you're unaware, is an action game focusing on Raiden from the Metal Gear series, the former Pretty Boy Solid Snake replacement who is now 90% robot parts. Kept his cool haircut though, that's important. Unlike Snake, Raiden's weapon of choice is a sword, and cutting things up with said sword is a crucial mechanic in Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. That's where Metal Gear Rising's most unique mechanic comes in: Blade Mode. Blade Mode is a mode you can activate during gameplay that focuses on Raiden's sword. When in Blade Mode, you can slash vertically and horizontally using the face buttons, which you can use to unleash a barrage of sword strikes on your enemy. But there's another aspect to Blade Mode, and that's the precision aiming, controlled by the right stick, where you pull back the stick to angle your blade, then release it, or hit a face button, to unleash a precise slash.
Get off!
This is good for slashing out enemies' precious, energy-giving spines, and comes in very useful during boss fights, as most enemies have weak points that need to be precision targeted if you're to do maximum damage. And looking at some of these bosses, you're going to want to do maximum damage. And yet, even though this is a totally kick-ass way to do sword combat in games, no one else has done Blade Mode since Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, which begs the question, why? Maybe the answer is on this memory stick. Aw man, this is all just shirtless pictures of Mads Mikkelsen. Hey, I didn't say take it.
That was a phantom. Typhon Anthrophantasmus. Keep moving.
As tortured backronyms go, the Gelliform Lattice Organism Obstructor, or GLUE cannon, must be one of the most outrageous in gaming. Organism Obstructor? Really? Don't let the dreadful name put you off though. The glue gun is both extremely useful and entertaining to use. In combat, it does no damage at all. Instead, its purpose is to stick enemies in place, giving you an opportunity to finish them off with one of your other weapons.
You won't survive without using them to install new aptitudes. I've already updated your transcribe with the list you requested.
I mean, yes, it is an organism, and yes, it has been obstructed, but it's still a stupid name. What makes the glue cannon more interesting though is the stuff it can do that isn't obstructing organisms. The clumps of adhesive that the cannon fires will stick to any surface except for glass. This means you can use it to build stairways that allow you to climb to different areas of the level, often skipping huge portions of the game. I'm an organism too, and I'm being the opposite of obstructed. I rest my case. This isn't a bug or an unexpected feature, the gun was designed specifically to allow for this. There's even a moment in the game where you see another character build a stairway to escape a Typhon monster, just in case you hadn't cottoned onto the possibilities of the glue cannon yourself. Oh, and as an added benefit, the versatility of the glue cannon makes it easy to escape the boundaries of the levels, which is a primary reason why the speedrun record for this 15+ hour game currently stands at under 7 minutes.
Leadership has issued an alert. All personnel should report to muster stations immediately and await.
Yeah, no, actually starting to see why other developers haven't been putting this in their games. That and the stupid name they'd have to give it.
Roost, I've secured Baby Eagle.
Copy that. Is she okay?
Affirmative.
Well done, Condor 1. I'll dispatch a chopper ASAP. I'm sending you the coordinates for the extraction point. Make your way there, and don't let anything happen to Baby Eagle.
Copy that.
Hurry. The weather is getting worse. Roost out.
In many a video game, one of the things we've all collectively agreed to turn a blind eye to is how your character is able to carry an unlimited amount of pistols, shotguns, rifles, rocket launchers, chainsaws, and accompanying ammunition and health items all at the same time without it slowing them down, ruining the line of their cool armor, or requiring a separate grocery cart to keep them in. Not so the Resident Evil series, however, because these are games that take item management seriously and realistically and turn it into a kind of game in its own right. And we have to overlook the fact that Leon is apparently carrying a massive attaché case around with him at all times that we never see. Fine, maybe it follows him around at a respectful distance like a Roomba. As anyone who has played these games will know, your briefcase is arranged into a rectangular grid. Items take up a certain number of blocks in this grid and can be rotated. At first it's not a problem because you've got loads of space, and then you pick up something that you don't have room for, and that's where the metagame comes in.
You cut through the crowd with that right there.
Now, optimizing your inventory space becomes a kind of crude Tetris of guns and flash grenades as you shuffle things around, load bullets into guns, combine herbs, and generally do everything in your power to avoid having a single wasted square in your inventory grid. It also leads to some genuinely heartbreaking moments as you have to decide what precious ammo you need to abandon in order to pick up the key item you just stumbled across, and moments of triumph as you use a first aid spray and realise that you've now not only got full health, but an additional 2 slots of free space to fill up with handgun bullets.
Stocking up while you can.
And yet, despite all the positive aspects of Resident Evil's inventory system, it rarely shows up in other games, with the notable exception of horror fishing game Dredge. It doesn't even always show up in Resident Evil games. Is it because you're worried about players ruining the mood if they turn around and see the Roomba suitcase following them around? Because you don't have to show it, that's fine.
Some things in life are so intimidating that you hesitate to even approach them in the first place, like Brock Lesnar, or a silverback gorilla, or a waiter who bought you the wrong kind of potatoes. To this list, you think we could add the party in an RPG, because once you've got a few hours of play under your belt, start to level up and pick up some sweet gear, you and your plucky band of misfits are usually a force to be reckoned with. And yet still low-level scrubs come out and challenge you to a fight. What gives?
Our usual tactics should work.
Let's do this.
I won't hold back! Fire!
Now you've got to spend a minute or two laying the smackdown on these randos, or if you can stomach the shame, running away to avoid the fight. Not because you can't win it, but because you can't be bothered to go through all that for the paltry XP these chumps will provide.
Let's go! Farewell.
So why do more RPGs not take a leaf out of the Book of Earthbound, the venerable SNES RPG that included the incredible instant win mechanic? Instant win is exactly what it sounds like. If you come across a low-level enemy in the world that your party will defeat easily, like, say, this snake, Earthbound decides not to patronize you and just automatically awards you the victory. Earthbound, I thank you for respecting my time. All other RPGs, I want a word with you later.
Water! Gene, this place reeks.
I know. Wait, you don't expect me to mop up, do you?
Come on, those guys are cake.
Not to mention, much sexier than you.
Well, your sexy little friends. They're coming for a dance.
A concept you may be familiar with in video games is dynamic difficulty, whereby a game takes it easier on you if you're struggling. Like how you get better power-ups in Mario Kart when you're doing badly, or how Resident Evil 4 gives you more ammo and health if you keep effing up. If you weren't aware that was what Resident Evil 4 was doing, then sorry to break it to you. Resident Evil 4 pities us all. However, where these examples of dynamic difficulty are there to make things easier for you, God Hand, the excellent and bizarre beat-em-up from Clover Studios and Capcom, works the exact opposite way, making things harder for you the better you do, in a mechanic that more games should copy, but hardly any have. In God Hand, you play as a man named Gene, who takes possession of a divinely powerful right arm, which grants him legendary martial arts powers. I mean, I can imagine that becoming legendary, sure. God Hand, which is already a hard game, actually has 6 different difficulty levels, ranging from level 0 to level die, which should tell you a little something about how hard that is.
What a pain in the behind!
The way it works is that doing well consistently, like avoiding being hit, will cause the difficulty level to rise. Keep taking damage or die and the difficulty level will drop. What this means is that the game is constantly adapting to give you the perfect difficulty throughout. Make it up to level die and way more enemies spawn into the levels, and they're much tougher than regular enemies, meaning it's going to take a lot longer and a lot more skill to actually put them down. And bosses are all brutally tough, even the ones that look like tiny Power Rangers.
Have your pet neutered or spayed! Ow, 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 I'm hurt! I mean hurt! Together we are the Magnified!
But the beauty of the system is that as you start to butt against your skill ceiling, the game recognises this and you get knocked down a level or two, to the exact point where combat is challenging but not impossible. Tough, but ultimately rewarding and fun. For you, I mean, not the guys getting booted in the nuts. They're having an awful time.
Damn, this Hideo Kojima USB stick is dynamite. There's all sorts of cool games on here. A motorbike game where the motorbike is Kurt Russell and you drive around on him and your name is Drives Bike Man. And that's coming out, so pre-order now if you're interested. If you're interested in other videos though, why not check out this one from Outside Xbox, and down here is one from Outside Extra. You can enjoy both of those just as much as you'll enjoy this new game where you're injected into the bloodstream of Norman Reedus and you must eliminate viruses in his whole zone. Coming out.